More than 300 amino acids have been found in nature, and approximately 20 amino acids have been found as components of mammalian proteins. So these 20 amino acids are known as standard amino acids because they are coded by our DNA. The other non-standard amino acids, they are formed by the chemical modifications of these standard amino acids. When these amino acids are present in a chain, the individual amino acid is known as residue. Here we have a structure of a free amino acid. This is the alpha carbon that is attached with an amino group, carboxyl group, as well as a side chain that determines the amino acid. At the physiological pH, this carboxyl group, it donates its proton, resulting in the formation of the carboxylatine and this protonated amino group. Now, the nature of side chain is very important and it determines the role an amino acid is going to play in a protein. So let's deal with the classification of amino acid according to the charge and polarity of their side chain. So the first category we have is the non-polar side chain amino acids. The amino acids with non-polar side chains, this non-polar side chains determines that these amino acids are not going to gain or lose protons. They're not going to participate in the hydrogen and ionic bond formation, and this non-polarity promotes hydrophobic interactions. When these proteins are placed in the aqueous solutions, the amino acids with non-polar side chains, these non-polar side chains tend to cluster in the inside of the proteins, not on the surface that is in contact with the aqueous environment. And when these proteins with these amino acids are placed in a lipid medium, then these amino acids, they come on the surface to interact with the lipid. So they behave like oil in aqueous medium like water and tend to coalesce when they are present in aqueous environment. So these nonpolar groups help give proteins three-dimensional shape. Here we have examples of glycine, alanine, valine, leucine, isoleucine, and phenylalanine, tryptophan, methionine, and proline. Our second category are the amino acids with uncharged and polar side chain. They are uncharged at physiological pH, that means zero net charge, but they have polar side chains. Here we have examples of serine, tyrosine, and threonine. These three amino acids, they have hydroxyl groups, which means that they are going to take part in hydrogen bond formation. Asparagine and glutamine also have carbonyl and amide groups, so they also take part in hydrogen bond formation. Next is our cysteine. Our cysteine have sulfhydryl group, and two cysteine amino acids, their sulfhydryl groups oxidize, resulting in the formation of disulfide bond, and the individual cysteine is now known as cysteine. Okay, so here serine, tyrosine, and threonine, they also serve as sites for phosphate group attachments, which means that they act as sites for the activity of phosphatases and kinases. Phosphatases are the enzymes that remove phosphate groups, and you know what are kinases? If they remove, they add kinases add phosphate groups. Our third category is actually the amino acids with acidic side chains. So they are actually the proton donors. At the physiological pH, they have fully donated their protons and they are fully ionized. And the best example of these amino acids are aspartic acid and glutamic acid, and after they have donated their protons, they are known as aspartate and glutamate. Our next category and the last one, that is our amino acid with basic side chain. If they are donors, then they are acceptors. They are proton acceptors. They are also fully ionized at physiological pH, and they are also physiological pH. They are fully ionized. We have our example of arginine, lysine, and histidine. The behavior of histidine is a little bit different. At the physiological pH, it's actually weakly basic or largely uncharged, and when it is incorporated in protein, it can be neutral and positively charged. So we say that it's responsible for the buffering role. Like in case of hemoglobin, these amino acids play an buffering role. So that's all about amino acids classification. If you like this video, click on the like button and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching this video.